It was bad. Not a good look for the world to see President and Vice President of the United States and a world leader not respecting each other. That's not good. And anybody who thinks it was good is an idiot. Not good. But something good might come out of it. Keep that in mind. So there was a problem with Zelensky not understanding who Donald Trump is. That was the problem. To mitigate that problem, 11 U.S. senators met with Zelensky just hours before he was to appear in the Oval Office to sign the mineral deal. They met at the Hay Adams Hotel. I was aware of that meeting, even though I wasn't on the air on Friday. In the meeting, which all the senators, all 11 of them, said it was a friendly, good meeting, Zelensky was told gently to be humble, because that's what President Trump expected. And that's absolutely true. The best advice Zelensky got was go in there humble. Zelensky did not take that advice. Okay, that's where you start. The contention was that Zelensky wanted assurances from the United States that if he signed the mineral agreement and Putin violated a ceasefire or upped the ante about missiles and drones, that the United States would guarantee Ukraine's defense. Trump was never going to do that. That was not part of the deal. Okay, the deal was if you sign this, the United States will have a dog in the hunt, because our structure will have to come in to Ukraine to harvest those minerals, making it much harder for Putin to misbehave. That was what Trump thought he was getting. Now, with Trump in that meeting were Vice President Vance, who from the very beginning did not want to be much associated with Ukraine. Trump is much more accommodating, because Trump understands how evil Putin is, even if he placates him, and I'll get to that in a moment. But Vance, no. Vance didn't want, Vance is to the right of Trump on this. And then there was Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, and a whole bunch of other. Now, Rubio has no power at all in that kind of a meeting, none. Just to sit there, because he works for Trump. Okay. So when they get in there, Trump immediately doesn't like the fact that Zelensky didn't wear a jacket. I don't care about that, because Zelensky says he doesn't get dressed up in solidarity with his soldiers. This is what the soldiers wear. This is what I wear. Okay. It's small ball. But Trump gave him a little needle on it, and Trump does that. And then they start to talk about the deal, and Zelensky, I got to tell you, I watched that tape a number of times. He comes off as entitled. He comes off with an attitude, a chip on his shoulder. He does. And whoa, and that opened it up for Vance to come in and do this. Go.
I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring it into this conflict.
Okay, and that's not an outlandish statement by Vance, but I wouldn't have done it. Because Vance knew by scolding Zelensky, it goes out all over the world. And I would have done that privately myself if I were J.D. Vance. But that blew it up. And then Trump piled on Zelensky, and Zelensky got booted out. Now, the conspiracy people go, oh, this is all planned. You don't have, okay, a lunch for, I think it was 10 people, prepared to be put on a table if you know you're going to blow up a meeting. All right, that is just stupid. And there was no benefit for Trump and Vance to blow the meeting up without cause. But Zelensky gave him cause because he came in arrogant. And he did. Now, I have sympathy for Zelensky. His country has been absolutely battered by one of the most evil men to ever exist. And when you read my book, Confronting Evil, you'll see how evil bad Vlad is. Okay? It's not even close. But I also understand that Trump wants this to stop because we've already kicked in 200 billion American taxpayer dollars. And there's no end in sight. And if Zelensky's got to give a little bit of land or whatever, that's what Trump expects him to do. But Trump was giving him protection by this mineral deal, and Zelensky apparently is not smart enough to understand that. And the final thing is, Zelensky can't beat Russia. So, Zelensky's humiliated, the hate Trump crew goes to town, the world doesn't like Trump because it's never portrayed the way I'm portraying it. Never. Okay? Zelensky is back to Europe. This is a good thing, and the Europeans go, no, we're with you. Good. Good. Step up further so we don't have to pay so much more than. Do you realize that France has thrown in less than 10 billion? And we're at 200 billion? Come on. And Macron's running around? Jeez. So that could be good if the whole European Union rallies to Ukraine's defense. And Putin's got more of a problem then. I don't expect Trump to bail, by the way. I'd be very surprised if he did, because that would be not a good geopolitical move. Okay. So going forward, which is the most important thing now, I think the deal is going to happen. All right? Is when Trump, if you follow his history, if you read the United States of Trump, a lot of times this happens. The deal seems like it's going to never happen, and then all of a sudden it happens. So I expect that mineral deal, number one, to come back. And then I expect Putin and Trump, and maybe some European leaders, Britain and France, maybe, to forge out a ceasefire. But Trump's never going to sign any kind of, hey, if Putin does X, then the United States is going to throw troops. And no, he's never going to do that. And of course, Zelensky would want that. If you were Zelensky, you'd want it, right? But you don't do what Zelensky did. You don't strut in there. You don't. That was a huge mistake on his part. And that's a memo. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on X. Look for @Bill O'Reilly.